Prehistory. A 2010 analysis of a local stalagmite revealed that Native Americans were burning forests to clear land as early as 100 BCE. Some regional late prehistoric eastern woodland tribes were more involved in hunting and fishing, practicing the Eastern agricultural complex gardening method, which used fire to clear out underbrush from certain wooded areas. Another group progressed to the more time-consuming, advanced companion crop fields method of gardening. Also continuing from the ancient indigenous people of the state, they cultivated tobacco through to early historic times. It was used in numerous social and religious rituals. Maize corn did not make a substantial contribution to the diet until after 1150 BP, to quote Mills. Eventually, tribal villages began depending on corn to feed their turkey flocks, as Kanawha ancients practiced bird husbandry. The local natives made cornbread and a flat rye bread called bannock as they emerged from the proto-historic era. A horizon extending from a little before the early 18th century is sometimes called the acculturating fireside cabin culture. Trading posts were established by European traders along the Potomac and James Rivers. Tribes that inhabited West Virginia as of 1600 were the Sioux and Monongahela culture to the north, the Fort Ancient culture along the Ohio River from the Monongahela to Kentucky and extending an unknown distance inland, and the Eastern Sioux and Tutelo and Mountain tribes in the southeast. There was also the Iroquois and Susquehannock in the region approximately east of the Monongahela River and north of the Monongahela National Forest, a possible tribe called the Shenandoah or Shenandoah. In the Shenandoah Valley and the easternmost tip of the state may have been home to the Manahoac people. The Monongahela may have been the same as a people known as the Calicua or Cali. The following may have also all been the same tribe, Monetan, Mohican, Shenandoah, to Mahitan. During the Beaver Wars, other tribes moved into the region. The Iroquois and Taintatekaga, also Little Mingo, Wyandot, seem to have split off from the Petun after they were defeated by the Iroquois. They eventually settled somewhere between the Kanawha and Little Kanawha rivers. During the 1750s, when the Mingo Seneca seceded from the Iroquois and returned to the Ohio River Valley, they contend that this tribe merged with them. The Shawnee arrived as well, though primarily stationed within former Monongahela territory approximately until 1750. They extended their influence throughout the Ohio River region. They were West Virginia's last native tribe and were driven out by the United States during the Shawnee Wars, 1811 to 1813. The Erie, who were chased out of Ohio around 1655, are now believed to be the same as the Westo, who invaded as far as South Carolina before being destroyed in the 1680s. If so, their path would have brought them through West Virginia. The historical movement of the Tutelo and carbon dating of the Fort Ancients seem to correspond with the given period of 1655 to 1670 as the time of their removal. The Susquehannocks were original participants in the Beaver Wars, but were cut off from the Ohio River by the Iroquois around 1630 and found themselves in dire straits. Suffering from disease and constant warfare and unable to provide for themselves financially, they began to collapse and moved further and further east to the Susquehanna River of eastern Pennsylvania. The Manahoac were probably forced out in the 1680s when the Iroquois began to invade Virginia. The Siouan tribes there moved into North Carolina and later returned as one tribe, known as the Eastern Blackfoot or Kristanas. The Westo did not secure the territory they conquered. Even before they were gone, displaced natives from the south flooded into freshly conquered regions and took them over. These became known as the Chataras or West Virginia Cherokees. They took in and merged with the Monetans, who began to call themselves the Mohitans. The Calicua also began to call themselves Cherokees soon after, showing an apparent further merger. These Chataras were closely related to the tribes that formed to the south in the aftermath of the Westo, the Yuchi and Cherokee. From 1715 to 1717, the Yamasee War sprang up. The Shenandoah allegedly sided with the Yuchi and were destroyed by Yamasee allies. Therefore, if the Shenandoah were the same tribe as the Mohican, This would mean the collapse of Shatara culture. Another tribe that appeared in the region was the Canarigay, or Kana. It later migrated to Maryland and merged into colonial culture. Thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe if you enjoyed.